Massive win, Dirty Boxing 3. Jessy Jess, Jesse Rose Clark. Jesse, how we doing?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm great. Glad to be joined by you. It was also a treat watching you fight again. Always a pleasure. I think Dirty Boxing is just fun. I think it lends to your skill set really well. 2-0 now. I mean, talk to me about your Dirty Boxing experience so far.
Oh, it's been amazing. You know, when I was getting ready for the first one, I was so nervous because it is a brand new sport and it's like a created sport, you know what I mean? So there's really nothing to reference back to when getting ready for it. So I was super nervous because also in my Muay Thai, I've been trying to hit elbows. In the UFC, I was trying to hit elbows and I could never, like, I could just never do it right. You know, I think I had one good win against Sarah Alpa where I threw a lot of elbows, but also that was a stylistic thing
Sure.
with her style versus mine. But I've been trying so hard. Um, I landed a six spinning back elbow on Pani Kianzad when I fought her in the UFC, but it did nothing, you know. So then when I was transitioning into this boxing with elbows, I was very excited, but at the same time, I was like, fuck, I've been trying to land these damn elbows and I just can't do it. Like I'm missing or I'm crashing into the clinch. And then so I was super nervous about the first one and really anxious. And a lot of that anxiety just came from, you know, fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
But then after the first one, or like during the first one, I was like, fuck, this isn't that bad. I think I landed two elbows in the first one, but again, like styles make certain fights, you know, and the way she fought, kind of made it hard because she pulled away a lot and she moved and like she was moving backwards a lot. So there was things that I wanted to land that I just wasn't necessarily able to just because of the way she was fighting, you know. And I ended up doing like watching that fight back. I didn't really. I think all I did the entire fight was jab the head, cross the body, hook, and
Yeah.
that was it. And I was like, damn, I didn't really need to do anything more, you know. But then when we got ready for the second one, like after the first one, I didn't really feel that fulfilled, you know, because like it's also hard going from the biggest promotion in the world, which you know obviously a lot of people involved with dirty boxing have come from there, have been
Right.
there, are still currently there. It's a hard thing going from being on that stage to then coming into these other shows and fighting that level of competition to then fighting back on the regional scene. It's very, very different. And so I just haven't been feeling that fulfilled. And part of that, it's me like not giving myself enough credit for how hard I work, which I know is it has always been a detriment when it comes to celebrating my wins. I've never really celebrated wins, you know, and it's always because I'm very critical of
Yep.
myself. But so after that first one, I was like, man, I just want to be challenged. Like that, like this sport has the potential to be so fucking fun, you know.
Yeah.
And the first one was, and then I said to my coach, I was like, hey, I want to fight someone. I want a harder fight. Like I want a more challenging fight.
Mm-hmm.
And then Primo Malky offered me Claudia, and I straight away I was like, coach, like, come on, this is what like her record doesn't show
Sure.
how challenging she is as a competitor, you know. You see on paper she's 5-5 in MMA. But she's fought bare knuckle, she's fought dirty boxing before. She has the only well, up until this last event, she had the only female finish in dirty boxing. And her style presented a lot of challenges. And coach was like, are you sure this is what you want? Like, are you ready for that, you know? And I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. And then every sparring session that I did preparing for her, I had one of my teammates, he had a full face shield on, and he would just run at me the way that she did. And after the first one, I was like, fuck, this is exhausting. But honestly, that fight and that win is the first time in a long time that I felt just really good about my performance and really good about how hard I had worked and really good about the outcome. And yeah, it's cool. I love dirty boxing. Honestly, like after the last one, I've been talking about wanting to go into pro boxing. After the last one, I said to coach, I was like, man, I don't know, like maybe we just try to fight for a couple more titles in Muay Thai. Maybe we just stay with dirty boxing. Like I'm pretty unless like a big money fight came in boxing,
Sure.
yeah, I'd take that. I'm like, but I'm pretty happy staying with dirty boxing.
Well, and I mean, also like on top of your performances, you're also just face value a star. You're one of the stars of dirty boxing already. So, I mean, UFC, you were kind of a big name too. Like, it's not that you weren't a
Yeah.
star, but you're just in the mix with so many freaking people. Dirty boxing,
Yeah.
you stand out. So, like, do you like that aspect of it too?
Um, you know, 30-year-old Jesse did. 37-year-old Jesse, not so much. Like, it is cool. It is cool because, like, it's cool having the platform being promoted the way I am. I love that because of my what I'm trying to accomplish outside of fighting, you know?
Right.
Like I have always been a big believer in I think that my mission in life is to serve other people, is to live a life of service and help everyone that I can and help as many people as I can in whatever way that is. And having a big platform and being promoted the way I am just allows me to reach more people, you know? So I don't necessarily care about being a star. I care about the level of access that gives me to people who allow me to do what I believe my mission and my purpose in life is, and that is to help and to try to make other people's paths easier than what mine has.
And just talking about what's next, what's potentially next. I've asked you about it before, and people are going to keep asking you about it until it happens or doesn't happen. So, Paige VanZant, do we have any
Yeah.
sort of news update? Is this still possible?
It's definitely possible. I haven't talked to her again. Uh, I have talked to my management. We have the same management. She's with first round. I'm with first round, and
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
yeah, which actually is really convenient because everyone can be on the same page really easily. There doesn't need to be like as many negotiations as when it's opposing
Right.
management companies. I do think it's going to be me and Kat first fighting for the title. You know, I think she deserves that just as much as I do. She has two good wins. She is also a name in dirty boxing. Like people love
Mm-hmm.
watching her fight. So I think that that will be the next fight that will happen. And then after that, then it should be Paige, you know. But we're also, is the thing with Paige, and I've known this for a long time, like she doesn't need to fight.
Right.
She's doing the things that make her excited, you know, that like there's no reason for her to get up and train every day. Not like back when we were in the trenches and we had to train every day because that's how we were
Right.
feeding ourselves. She doesn't have that same those same reasons, you know. So it's got to be something that excites her. I've always known that. I think that's why we haven't rematched yet because just the opportunity hasn't been the right one. I do think dirty boxing will be where it happens, but I think it'll be her challenging me for the title.
Well, I mean, Mr. Malkikawa kind of owns dirty boxing in first round, so
I
yeah, that
know.
could go really
Yeah,
well.
I
But
know, and I think that's what everyone's gonna want to see happen anyway.
sure. Well, but you and Kat Nelson is also a great fight. I mean, Kat, like you said, 2-0
Yeah.
as well, put on a show last time. So, how does that fight go down stylistically in your head?
I think she has a good skill set. You know, I've watched her dirty boxing fights. I haven't really seen anything outside of that. Um, she definitely presents her own set of problems. I just have a lot more experience fighting many different styles, you know? Um, I'm excited for it. You know, my coach and I have talked about it. We've been talking about it for a long time because she got offered a fight against me in Muay Thai when I first left the UFC and I started fighting Muay Thai. And it didn't happen. They wanted more money than what was on offer, and then they said no. So it
Mhm.
never happened. But there has been for the last 2 years. There's been multiple talks of Cat and I fighting. I think Dirty Boxing is a good style for that fight to finally happen. Um, I don't have any animosity or anything negative to say about Cat.
Sure.
She's doing really well. You know, she's technical. She's aggressive. Like she's smart. She fights very very intelligently, and I think it'll be fun. It'll be a good fight.
And if it's for a title, which I think it should be, but I have no say.
Should be.
Did you like Jairzinho Rosenstrike's belt? Like, do you like that style? You want to put that around your own waist?
I didn't get to see it in person. Yeah,
Oh,
so I didn't
really?
get to see it in person. Nah, but it looked cool in the videos. It looked super cool. But yeah, I haven't seen it in person.
And you said this fight has to be for a title, yes?
Yeah, it's got to be. It doesn't make sense for Cat and I to fight just a regular fight. It doesn't make any sense. Like, there's no female. They haven't had a female title. You know, Kat and I currently are the biggest names within dirty boxing, within the women. Honestly, over a lot of the men that are fighting for dirty boxing.
Totally. Yeah.
Both her and I have a bigger reputation, so it wouldn't make sense for us to fight for anything other than the first title.
And I'm curious too, because obviously it looks like Cat is next, maybe PVZ later, but just you're at the stage of your career where I think you even said this, where you like the exciting stuff, you like the fun fights,
Yeah,
the money fights. So
yeah.
if that's the case, like what other potential, this doesn't have to be shit talk, it can be like dream matches, but anyone else you'd love to fight dirty boxing someday?
Yeah, honestly, so Kat was originally supposed to fight Patty Kianzad, and I've lost to her twice. I lost to
Yep.
her in Invicta, and I lost to her in the UFC. And when I lost to her in Invicta, it was a very close fight, and I lost purely based on inexperience. Like, I hadn't
Hmm.
had, I think it was my seventh fight, she'd had a lot more than me and had boxing experience as well. And I've rewatched that fight many, many times, and in the fight, I felt it. I just felt her level of experience. I felt
Yeah.
her fight IQ was higher. Her timing was better, When I fought her in the UFC, it was in Russia. I came back too early from an injury. I had food poisoning all week. Like, there were other factors, but the reality is, like, I I just wasn't ready for that rematch,
Mm.
because I know that I can fight Penny better than I have fought her. So when I saw that her and Kat were originally scheduled to fight, I sent it to my coach straight away, and I was like, "Fuck, we're gonna get this rematch. Like, we're gonna get this rematch." Um, so it'd be really cool if that got to happen. It's not going to be the next fight, and she sure as shit is not fighting for the title unless she gets a couple of wins. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, she got released from the UFC for a reason. She's coming off a few losses. I don't know if she's fought since the UFC. Um, I believe she will need to get a couple of wins in dirty boxing before her and I will fight. But I would love to get that rematch as well.
Penny is currently on a 3-fight losing streak, all in UFC. So
Yeah, well, that's what
got
I
to get
mean.
a
Like,
win for a title.
yeah, it wouldn't make sense for her to then fight me for
Right.
the dirty boxing title. You know what I mean? Like, I've had to, I think I'm 6-0 since since leaving the UFC in 3 different disciplines. Like, I have had to build myself back up to get to this stage, and she's gonna need to go through that same thing, But that would be a really cool rematch, because those losses have been losses that have hurt me, and I've always wanted to get that back.
I mean, hey, take my money. I'll watch that whenever it goes down. So,
I mean, she's
stay,
good. She's good, but I've gotten a
yeah.
lot better since her and I fought. So
Oh, I think that would be a great trilogy. So
I
we'll see. We'll
agree.
see what the
I agree.
stars hold. But Jesse, I got 2 more for you, and
Go
one
for
of
it.
which is a callback to, I think it's that DBX2 media day. I asked you about. I don't actually remember what I asked you about, but I remember your answer. You
I don't
said that
either.
no, that's nothing crazy. But you said towards the end of your UFC career, you lost the love. It became, this isn't a quote, but
Yeah.
you said it became like a chore, a task. It wasn't your passion. I'm wondering now,
Yeah.
since removed with the success you've seen in boxing and Muay Thai, have you found the love again?
Yeah, but okay, so here's the thing is I never had the love for MMA. That was
That's
never
what you
I
said.
started
Yes.
in kick Yeah, I started in kickboxing. I always loved kickboxing. My career, it made sense to go into MMA. That's where the money was. I was doing really well. I had 3 Australian titles. Like, I was winning. I was good at it. So it didn't make sense to leave when I was doing well and go into the thing that I wanted to do. But there was that point before my last fight in the UFC. I was having these conversations with my coach, and the conversation was like I lost my last 3 fights in the UFC. Um, before that last one against Tanera, coach and I had a conversation about what happens if I win, what happens if I lose. I knew if I lost, I wasn't getting an offer to re-sign anyway. It was the last fight on my contract. I knew that was going to happen, but I knew that if I won, I was going to get an offer to re-sign. And so then there was that debate, like, do I re-sign? And I said no. I'm like, if they offer me another contract, I'm going to say no, because at that stage, I think I was 35 or 36. I'm like, I am in the later stages of my career, and I know if I re-sign a deal with the UFC, I'm going to be in there for another 2 or 3 years, and my career is going to die in the UFC. And I just wasn't willing to let that happen, you know. So the plan was always, regardless of the results of the Tenera fight, was we were done. We were going into striking, and I was going to go do things that generally made me happy, loved, and it's been such a beautiful transition, you know, like. I was getting injured grappling a lot, and that was also weighing on me as like, fuck, I just kept getting these major injuries, tore all the ligaments in my foot, blew out my ACL, had my elbow dislocated, tore all the ligaments in my elbow. Like it just wasn't, the risk wasn't worth the reward anymore. And since transitioning to striking, like I've had a couple of injuries, but because I get to do the thing that I love every single day, it's like, it's nothing. It doesn't matter. Like, oh, cool, we'll just work around them, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I can't even remember what you asked. I just started talking.
That answered my question. I said, did you find the love again? You said you never lost the love, and you got it back
Absolutely.
now that you're back in striking. Now, it's
Yeah.
ironic, though, for my last question, because UFC this weekend is actually dipping their feet into boxing for the first time ever. They're co-promoting Canelo
Oh, are
versus
they?
Crawford.
Oh,
Yeah,
Crawford and Canelo, right? Yeah.
yep, that's UFC's
Yeah.
co-promoting it. So, like, do you have any thoughts on
Oh, I didn't
UFC
even know
getting into
that.
that game? Say it again.
I don't. I didn't even know that. I mean, I knew Canelo and Crawford were fighting. I didn't know that they were co-promoting. I'll be honest. I have zero care for anything the UFC does. I only watch if it's one of my close friends
Yeah.
fighting, you know. Since I left, like I had a lot of really amazing things came out of being in the UFC. There are a lot of really negative things as well. So since I left, I haven't allowed myself to give it any attention. Um, I don't know. I don't really care what they do as long as people are getting paid and they're getting treated the way they deserve to be treated. So whatever, man. I probably will watch Canelo and Crawford though, because I do enjoy watching boxing.
Hey, understood. That's why I asked the questions, and I love the answer
Yeah.
regardless. But Jesse, I appreciate your time as always. Before I get you out of here, anything you'd like to say to all your fans? The mic is yours.
No, I mean, I feel like I show appreciation all the time. I'm just grateful to be in the position I am in, to do the thing that I love every day, and I'm grateful that people enjoy watching me do the thing that I love to do, you know. So, thanks.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hopefully we get some fight news soon. But regardless, stay tuned. Jesse Jess, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.